Hello, beloveds. Welcome to our channel, where we grow closer to Jesus every day. If you love learning how to strengthen your faith and deepen your prayer life, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a blessing.
Okay, so when you hear the name Jonah, what's the first thing that pops into your head? A guy, a whale, right? Maybe a big fish. But that's really just the hook of the story. The real heart of it, the thing that makes it so fascinating, isn't what happened in the ocean. It's about a mission, an unbelievable act of mercy, and a prophet who, honestly, really struggles with the whole thing. And that right there, that's the central puzzle of this entire book. I mean, think about it. A prophet, their whole job is to be God's messenger. So why on earth would one get a direct command from God and just run? Like in the complete opposite direction? It's a great question. And honestly, it's the key to unlocking this whole incredible story. So before we dive into the action, let's just get our bearings a little bit. The Book of Jonah is super short, just 4 chapters in the Old Testament, and it's pretty old, traditionally dated way back to the 8th century BC. But what makes it so unique, is that it's less about the actual prophecies and way more about the prophet himself and his very personal journey. All right, let's jump into part 1, a prophet on the run. This is where it all kicks off, with a command from God and, believe it or not, an immediate act of defiance. So, what was this mission? Well, the command was to go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it. Now, you have to understand, Nineveh wasn't just some random city. It was the capital of the Assyrian Empire. These guys were notoriously cruel, and they were the sworn enemies of Jonah's people, Israel. So for Jonah, this wasn't just a tough assignment. It was a command to go straight into the lion's den and confront the very people he probably hated and feared more than anyone. And his reaction says it all. Instead of heading east towards Nineveh, Jonah goes straight to the docks and books passage on a ship going west to Tarshish. We're talking literally the opposite direction, as far away as he could possibly get in the known world. But here's the thing. His attempt to escape triggers this disastrous chain of events. And it doesn't just affect him. It puts everyone else on that boat in serious danger. And this is such a crucial point. Jonah's personal choice, his decision to run away, puts these totally innocent sailors in mortal danger. Suddenly they're caught in this massive, terrifying storm, a storm that's happening because of him. It gets so bad they have to start throwing their cargo overboard, and eventually they have to throw Jonah himself into the sea. It's just a powerful reminder, isn't it? Our choices almost never happen in a vacuum. Which brings us to part 2, prayer from the deep. I mean, this is his absolute lowest point. He is literally inside the belly of a great fish. And it's here, in the dark, that something starts to shift. This moment isn't just about survival. It's about surrender. And you can really feel that shift in his prayer. He says, "Out of the belly of Sheol I cried and you heard my voice." Sheol here basically means the realm of the dead. So from the depths of what felt like death itself, Jonah finally cries out to God. It's a prayer born from pure desperation, sure, but it's also a moment of acknowledgement. He finally gets it, that even here, at the bottom of the world, God can still hear him. So what's the big takeaway from this part of the story? It's that hitting rock bottom was actually Jonah's turning point. That prayer from the deep, it was a true act of repentance. It was him finally admitting that salvation only comes from God. And what's amazing is God's response. He doesn't abandon him. Instead, he commands the fish to spit Jonah out safely onto dry land, giving him a second chance to get this mission right. And that leads us right into part 3. A city repents. So Jonah's back on dry land. He's had his, let's call it a come to Jesus moment inside a fish. And it seems like he's finally learned his lesson, because this time he actually heads to Nineveh. But listen to the message he delivers. It's so blunt. He doesn't give some long, eloquent sermon. Nope. He just walks into this massive city and gives an 8-word warning. Yet 40 days and Nineveh shall be overthrown. That's it. 40 days and you're toast. He delivers the message, sure, but you can almost feel him doing it through gritted teeth. And then, what happens next is, you could argue, the biggest miracle in the whole book. The people of Nineveh, they believe him, like immediately. The entire city repents. We're talking from the king on his throne all the way down to the lowest person on the street. They start to fast, they wear sackcloth to show they're mourning their actions, and they actually turn from their evil ways. And because of that genuine change, God sees it and spares the city. Okay, so you'd think that's the end of the story, right? Mission accomplished. Roll credits. But not so fast. The final chapter, chapter 4, reveals the real reason Jonah ran away in the first place. And this is where we get to the story's most profound and maybe most uncomfortable lesson. This part is just stunning. Is Jonah relieved, happy? Nope. He is furious, absolutely furious that God showed mercy to his enemies. See, he didn't want them to be saved. He wanted them to be judged, to be destroyed. So his successful mission actually feels like a total failure to him, all because mercy won out over judgment. And how does God respond to this? Not with a big lecture, not with thunder and lightning, but with a simple, quiet, and incredibly deep question. He just asks Jonah, "Do you do well to be angry? Is your anger justified?" And that question just hangs there. It forces Jonah, and it really forces us, the readers, to stop and think about the whole nature of justice and mercy. So to help Jonah get the point, God sets up one last little object lesson. And it's all about contrasting Jonah's very small personal priorities with the fate of this massive city, a city with more than 120,000 people in it. And this really breaks it down perfectly. God makes a plant grow to give Jonah some shade, and Jonah is thrilled about it. But then the next day, God takes the plant away, and Jonah is so distraught he wants to die. And that's when God makes the point. He says essentially, "You're all worked up about a single plant that was here one day and gone the next, but I shouldn't be concerned about an entire city of over 120,000 people who don't even know their right hand from their left?" It's such a powerful contrast. So, after all that, what does this ancient story really have to say to us today? What can we take away from it? Let's try to boil down the key lessons from Jonah's wild ride. Okay, so first, pretty clear one. You can't outrun your calling. Sooner or later, you gotta face it. Second, true repentance can lead to amazing second chances. But I think the biggest one, the one at the very core of the book, is this. God's mercy is way, way bigger than our own. It extends far beyond the little boxes and prejudices we have. And the story basically challenges us to ask if we can find it in ourselves to value people we've written off as unworthy or even as enemies. And that's why the Book of Jonah doesn't end with a neat little bow tied on top. It just stops. It ends with that unanswered question from God just hanging in the air, echoing down through the centuries. And really, that question is now for us. Who are the Ninevites in our lives, in our world? Who are the people, or maybe the groups of people that we, just like Jonah, really struggle to show mercy to? It's a tough, challenging thought to end on, for sure. But that challenge, that's the whole point. It's the very heart of this incredible story.
Thank you for watching. If you or someone you know needs prayer, send us an email. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for daily blessings.